All right, there we go. Go live. All right, we'll start in a second. What's going on, guys? We got Category 4, Hurricane Melissa, and we've got tornadoes on the ground. What a morning. This one looks like it's falling apart. One that's moving towards Grand Bay, Alabama. Got another tornado warning out here. Just expired. So that's good. I'm going to stay down here. Our storm chaser, is he heading out here to see this? He's on the road to go see this tornado. He's a little bit far out, though. All right. So we do still have this tornado. Well, is it on the ground? It's hard to tell. It's definitely falling apart. Yeah, okay, this probably has lifted, but we should still take shelter for in Cloverdale, Slaughter Flat Landing, and Union Church. That's southeastern Mississippi, southwestern Alabama. Because this was on the ground doing damage just a little bit ago. It moved through northwestern or northern Pascagoula. I actually don't know how to pronounce that city. I do not. We've also got a little bit of a problem. A little bit of a problem down here. This is going to be a Cat 5 soon. We could see not just a Cat 5, but an extremely powerful Cat 5. High-end Cat 5. And this is, unfortunately, inevitably, headed directly for Jamaica. It's Beautiful storm. Very dangerous storm. Yeah, it's going to make a curve up to the northeast soon. It's all over. Did I say it right? Okay, cool. All right. Impressive. What's going on, babe? I wasn't gonna stream today, and I was sitting on the couch, and they're like, "Hey, we've got tornadoes in Mississippi and Alabama," and then Melissa's a Cat 4, which isn't a surprise. I posted yesterday. We're moments away from seeing rapid intensification. Everyone and their grandma knew this was gonna rapidly intensify. It was just the environment was so favorable for it. I'm surprised it's not a Cat 5 yet. I thought it'd strengthen even quicker, but we'll have a Cat 5 here in probably 3 to 4 hours. I wonder if we have a flight going into it right now. Let's check if we have another mission. Hurricane Cowboys, if they're flying into it. Yeah, really horrible situation for Jamaica, though. Like, very, very bad. They tried to get a lot of people out, but it's not going to be good news. A lot of people did evacuate, people who could, but it's not going to be good news, unfortunately. Just hope all we can do is, at this point, is hope for the best, because there's no... This thing's going to go over Jamaica. And if it doesn't, it's going to skirt Jamaica, which may even be worse, because then you don't get the eye to calm down the winds for a little bit. It'd be better if it went directly over it and not just skirted the island, because they're going to need that break from winds. All right, let's see. 955 millibar, 949 millibar. Wow, look at these winds. 109 knots out here. Oh, my gosh. 107 knots. Wow. 120 knots? What's 120 knots, guys? Almost 140 mile per hour winds? Let's see. Let's do the math. I can't do the conversion perfectly in my head. 138. Okay, I was 2 miles per hour off. Almost. 100. So there's about 140 mile per hour winds recorded right there. I don't even know if that's the biggest one. Jeez. 140 mile per hour winds. And it's strengthening. Trying to find the lowest pressure. We have 950. What do they have it at now? No, okay. They have it at right now 953. No, we already got a lower pressure than that. We have multiple ones in the 949. Let's see, 949. I think we have a lower one than that. 948. Yeah, it's still strengthening. 948.4. The central pressure is still dropping. Still dropping. Where's our plane? Did this mission already fly back? It did, okay. But we have another one going in now. Still strengthening. Pressure still dropping. We will have a Cat 5. This is going to be potentially the strongest hurricane to ever make landfall in Jamaica. Recorded history. Not in history, recorded history. This is Radar Omega that I'm on right now. We have two active tornado... Wait, do we have two active tornado warnings right now, or did the other one drop off? Let's go back and check out those. Let's see. Did the other one come back up? Okay, this tornado warning is back up. Tour possible. Oh, look at this. That's a couplet there. If you're in Perdido, I think it's Perdido Beach, or Josephine, take shelter immediately. Even if this isn't a tornado on the ground, it's very damaging straight line winds. Bottom floor of your home, basement if you have one, interior away from windows, in a closet, in a bathtub. I mean, we can take a look at what these winds are here if you want. But yeah, 60, 70 mile per hour straight line winds. You've got hurricane force gusts in this, even if we don't have a tornado on the ground. So please take shelter if you're out there just to the east of Gulf Shores. This is heading up to the northeast towards Perdido Beach, Josephine, and then it's going to move up towards Lillian, Paradise Beach. I think this one's falling apart, which is good. I don't know. I don't think we have this on the ground anymore. But still, Cloverdale, Union Church, Slaughter Flat Landing. You should probably still be in shelter for a little bit. This guy's really booking it, trying to get out here. Let's see if he can see these storms out ahead of him. Sorry if I haven't been reading chat much. But it's a B. What's going on, Proper Cat? Guys, I've won money at the casino two nights in a row. My parents are in town, so I took them. And it's very bad for me when I go on a winning streak at the casino, because it makes me feel like I can just keep winning. I think I should just count my winnings and not go back now. Not lose everything I've made in the last 2 nights. All right. I live right next to a casino. It's like the worst possible situation for someone like me. I could basically throw a baseball and hit the casino. It's terrible. Okay, this one's good. Yeah, okay, guys. Like I said, I'm just concerned about Josephine, Perdido Beach. I know, don't do it. I'm up like $400 in the last 2 nights. $400 or $500. Lillian, Paradise Beach, Perdido, Josephine, please take shelter. Let's see if nothing on the CC, which is good. But watch, we can see the rotation. There it is, rotating right there. There it is. There's our couplet. All right, give me 1 second. Prior Lake Casino? You don't like Mystic Lake? I like Mystic Lake. Mystic Lake's been really nice to me. It's funny because I went back last night and then I sat down and I started winning on the blackjack table, and the guy goes, "Oh, you again?" And I looked up and it was the same dealer that I had won like 15 straight hands on the night before. It is a lot. I don't bet big. I sit on a $15 table. I don't bet big. It's not. I don't do any of this. I don't do any of these $40, $50 tables. You know. Yeah, Mystic Lake. Mystic Lake. It's the biggest casino in the Midwest. The entire Midwest. It's the biggest casino. I know. I was like, this guy's going to think I'm counting cards or something. No, I was just getting lucky. I mean, I'm a pretty good blackjack player, but I'm not good enough to just win when I want. I need luck. Yeah, you again. Yeah. I'm not taking his money. I was taking the casino's money. I went with my dad and my brother the other night, and my stepmom, and me, my dad, and my brother sat at a table, and the guys sitting there said, "You don't want to sit here. We've been losing all night." And I said, "Well, your luck's about to change." I was just cocky, and it did change. The entire table wouldn't stop winning. It was really awesome. And then my dad was like, "I feel lucky," and sat down at a slot machine, put money in, hit triple bar, and tripled his money. And I said, "Okay, we're done." Like we've had such crazy luck lately. I won $1,000 at Misty 10 years ago, and I've never went back. See, Marissa, that's robbery right there. You did it right. You won $1,000, because what usually happens is people win $1,000 and they go, well, what I do is I go, I'm playing with house money. This isn't even really real money because I won it. So I just reinvested all in the casino. You won $1,000 and never went back. That should be a crime. Good for you. That's how we should do casinos. They give us money one time and we leave. Yeah, most people don't stop while they're ahead. You're pretty disciplined. Look at this thing. Oh my gosh. No shear off to the west. Tons of moist air. Look at the way this is fanning off. It's a very healthy storm. Unfortunately. It's a very healthy storm. There's the visible. Gambling causes me anxiety. When I'm losing, it causes me anxiety, and when I'm winning, it causes me pure joy. My dad used to always say, gambling isn't about whether you win or lose money. It's just about having fun. He said, that's part of the fun. You lose money, at least you still had fun. And there's the worst advice that he ever gave me. Because that's what I say every time I'm down. I say, well, I'm still having fun. You're just paying for fun. Worst advice he ever gave me. I was just in Jamaica 5 days ago. This is so sad. It is very sad. Yeah. There's no really avoiding this. I was just watching the news, and they're showing everyone in Jamaica. People in Jamaica are taking this seriously. They showed long lines at all the stores there, and everyone's sheltering and sandbagging. But the thing is, how do you prepare for a Cat 4, Cat 5 landfall, direct landfall? There's only so much you can do. I hope that if there's one thing people do is they get to high ground. No one should be anywhere near a freaking, and they will be, anywhere near a low-lying river, canal, anything in Jamaica, because especially with how slow this thing is moving, I think flooding's gonna be the worst of everything. It usually is. Water usually takes more lives than wind or water takes more lives than any other thing on planet Earth. So I think people just need to get up to high ground. But then it's like, okay, you're on high ground now. You have Cat 5 winds. It's a horrible situation. But I'd rather deal with winds than the flooding. You could deal with the winds. We're going to have some sad stories. Hopefully not too many. Like I said, it's all over the news. They're preparing in the country. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's... we're sending supplies out there as well. The National Guard's going to be on... Or not National Guard. We're going to have our military out there probably as soon as this thing's over, trying to help them. It's supposed to hit tomorrow morning or night. Yeah, they have right now it making landfall in about 40-ish hours, I think. In about 40-ish hours. So, it might not be until Tuesday morning. Right? It's going to be devastating, yeah. Yeah, landslides, exactly, landslides. And then we've got Cuba, which could have a major hurricane moving right into the Guantanamo region, eastern Cuba. Catastrophic storm surge. They're already seeing the storm surge, by the way, because here's Jamaica. Your flow right now is like this of your water, so the water's already flowing in into. They probably already have 4 or 6 feet of storm surge, if not more. They're gonna see 20-foot storm surge in some places. I think 20 feet. Could even be more. We'll have to see. And that's going directly into Kingston as well. I mean, it's a horrible situation. There's literally nothing to say. I mean, there's nothing positive to say right now. You have Kingston right here. Kingston. Here's your storm surge direction. It's going right into the cove currently, and it's just going to increase. And Kingston and eastern Jamaica is going to be on the high storm surge side the entire time if the storm runs like this. The west side is not going to see much storm surge out here. The east side is going to see a lot of storm surge. The worst of the storm is going to affect probably the most popular. I haven't been to Jamaica. I'm assuming this is the more populated side of Jamaica. Does anyone know? Because I know Kingston. I don't know. Does anyone know Jamaica population wise? I'm assuming this is the more populated side. I could be wrong though. Yeah, that side is. Yeah, and unfortunately, the northeastern quadrant of hurricanes in the northern hemisphere. So remember, we split them up into 4 quadrants. This quadrant up to the northeast is typically the strongest. You typically have, it's just a way, because these are, cyclones in the northern hemisphere. They're anticyclonic. They spin counterclockwise, and this side typically packs the strongest winds. You typically see the most damage in the northeastern quadrant, and that's what's going to be going over this portion of Jamaica with the highest storm surge. So, like I said, it's just bad. It's the situation. It's a bad situation. I'm thinking like maybe there's still some models that try to take it west, but again, then you're putting all of Jamaica in the northeastern quadrant, even if it goes west. I almost think it's better for the eye to go directly over it, and then you get a break in the eye. I don't know. Maybe we get lucky and this thing just falls to the south. I don't think that's going to happen, though. Yeah, their population is in Kingston, and it's going to be devastating. Yeah. Wow. Ay. What's going on with this? You can see Tuesday, 7 a.m. where they have this coming in. It's had the most recharging over warm water. The only good thing about it moving slow, and you can see how slow it's about to move out here, is when it slows down here to turn, it's going to be causing tons of upwelling, and it's going to cool the water beneath it. And if it moves slow enough, it's going to run out of warm water beneath it, which is why I think they have it weakening right before it moves over land. Weakening. It's Cat 4. It doesn't really matter. And a little bit of shear to the north. It'll have some upwelling cool water here as it slows down, and then shear to the north. Maybe we'll get down to a Cat 3, Cat 2 if we're lucky as it moves into Jamaica, but that's the northeastern quadrant right there. It's going to go right over Kingston. Yeah, we'll get into winter updates. We can get into all sorts of updates here. Just give me 1 second. Hi, Fisher. Oh, here he comes. Okay. Say hi, stream.
Hi, stream.
Okay. All right, I'll be out in a little bit. Okay, with Grandma. Be out in a little bit, okay? Okay, I'll see you in a little bit. All right, let's check on our tornadoes. He's getting in stream more often. Still have a tornado warning down here. This looks to be safe, though. But I'd still say Slaughter Flat Landing, Union Church. I'd stay in shelter a little bit longer, but I think they're going to lift that tornado warning. Down here, still have very damaging straight line winds moving through Josephine, Perdido Beach, heading up towards Lillian and Paradise Beach. This is southern Alabama and southwestern Florida near Pensacola. Getting shelter there. We've got wind speeds. Let's see. We've got wind speeds, 60, 70 miles per hour still in this area here. So, sorry, let me go over here. 60, 70 miles per hour. So, this region right here. Southern, just to the northeast of Gulf Shores. Headed up, like I said, Perdido Beach. I don't know how to pronounce it. Lillian, Paradise Beach. I think we may actually have a tornado still on the ground here. If not, we have damaging straight line winds. But our tornado warning over here is going to be lifted, very likely. Just to the west of Grand Bay and Cloverdale. This is likely going to be lifted here in a second. Oop, what did I do? But we still have a tornado warning stretching all the way out to Panama City today, so we got to keep watching that. They just updated this. What did they update this to? This is just to the south of Alberta, Alabama, to the north, to the east of Gulf Shores. This is moving kind of to the northeast, more like that. Ignore this arrow towards Perdido Beach, Josephine, and then up towards Lillian, Paradise Beach. We've got rotating cell, very obvious rotating cell right here. I don't think we have anything on the CC drop, which is good for now. So I don't think we have a tornado on the ground, but we should treat it like there is one because they're very very well maybe. What the heck? It failed. Oh. Yeah, poor Jamaica. How's everyone doing today? Who's ready to see the Giants beat the Eagles 36-3? Who's ready to see it? I'm wearing the Brady Killer shirt. Brady Killer. This is, if you guys don't know who this is. If you guys don't know who this is. Right here, wait. If you guys don't know who this is. This is Tom Brady's dad. Tom Brady's father. Right there. Yeah. Yeah. Tom Brady's biological father. Manning? Yeah. In case you didn't know. Go Big Blue. Listen, I'll say, Gavin, that loss last week was so hard to swallow because up 19-0 in the fourth and we lose. But I will say, I don't really care because that game, it made me realize we found our quarterback. We probably have the rookie of the year and the runner-up for rookie of the year with Daddy Darth Vader and Scattaboo. Yeah. It's I can't think of. I mean, there's been like more painful losses. I can't think of a bigger breakdown loss than that ever in Giants history. You go back to like the Eagles-Giants game back in whatever it was, where the Giants were up like 20 or 38. What was it? Where they ran back the punt and whatever. This one was insane. We had to do so many things wrong to lose that game. That was crazy. How is Gonzalez? Yeah, no, we were just talking about that. They're lifting one tornado warning for sure. It might already be lifted. We'll go back and take a look. They're lifting one tornado. This tornado warning is likely going to be lifted in a second. The one to the west of Grand Bay. This is falling apart. We don't see anything there. The one area that we are still worried about tornado is right here, just to the east of Gulf Shores. We'll go in and out of here. But to me, I don't see a couplet. I think this is damaging straight line winds moving through Perdido Beach, potentially Western Gulf Beach Heights up towards Lillian and Paradise Beach. I don't see a tornado here, but I would still take shelter, treat it like there is one, because you can clearly see rotation in here with a tiny bit of inflow. So I would still take shelter if you're out here, if you're anywhere out here, Josephine, Perdido Beach, Paradise, and Lillian, or anywhere in that region, or even right up here to the north if you're in eastern Alberta. Right now, though, it doesn't look like there's a tornado ground. It looks like damaging straight line winds. Canton. I don't know how to pronounce that. Cantonment. I can't pronounce that. Let's see where you are. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, you're far enough up to the northeast here, so you're right near Farm Hill, Cottage Hill. You're far enough to the northeast right now. You should be fine. Even if we do get a tornado on the ground here, with these types of conditions, I don't think we would have a long track tornado. It's not going to be on the ground for very long. I would just stay updated, because you are. I mean, yeah, you're right up here, and it's headed kind of up in that direction. I think that this is probably going to weaken a little bit before we see anything move up into that area. But I would just stay up to date. It's already the couplet's kind of gone. You want a tight couplet. We don't really see a tight couplet here, so I think it's just straight line winds right now. We have another mission flying in, if you guys want to see what's going on. Here's the latest mission. We're going to see the latest numbers. This Hurricane Cowboy's flying in there right now. So we'll see. Who knows? We might have a Cat 5 on our hands. We'll know in about 15-20 minutes. What's the Houston area in for? I think there's not much going on over in the Houston area, is there? Let's go to composite real quick. Houston's fine. Nothing really going on over in Houston. Nothing really happening over in Houston right now. I was just looking. Yep, here's our Hurricane Hunter, Hurricane Cowboy right here flying into the storm. And as he flies in, we're going to get live. This is live feed, so we're going to get it's about 5-10 minutes behind, but for all intents and purposes. Is that how you say it? For all how's that saying go, chat? I'm an idiot. For all intents and purposes, meteorology is easy to understand. The English language is very difficult for me. All intensive purposes. For all intensive purposes. Okay, thank you. Look, no, Mel. I don't know, Mel. They're saying intensive purposes. You're saying intense in purposes. I think it's intense in purposes. Yeah. Okay. Maybe Mel's right. Yep. For all intents and purposes. Okay. Good to know. Man, this storm is crazy. I gotta refresh Windy. I don't know what's doing all this bugging around. All right, we're gonna watch our Hurricane Hunter fly in, and we're gonna get some live updates here, guys. Where the channel is predicting a potential Cat 5. Yeah. but they're waiting on results. I think we may have a Cat 5 right here. I think earlier than expected. I mean, there's just, it's not going through an eye replacement or anything.
A new severe
It looks so
thunderstorm
strong.
warning has
And
been
you can see at the end here, this big burst of convection. Wait for it. Right there. That's right there at the end of this. You can see that big burst of convection that wraps. They're going to get a really low pressure in there. I think we could see a 935 to 940 central pressure. Maybe not, though. Could wait a little bit longer. Yeah, oh yeah, I'll do winter. Okay. Yep. Give me 2 seconds. I'm going to come back and we'll do a quick update on temperatures, snow outlook, and that type of stuff, too. Give me 1 second and we'll do that. Guys, for anyone who wasn't in my stream earlier, I was talking about how I've hit the casino the last couple nights and I've won each, like I've tripled my money each night. My wife just said, you made it the last 2 nights you've sat at the blackjack table for 10 minutes and made more than you make on streaming weather in a month. She goes, why don't you quit weather and just play blackjack full time? I said, you don't want to tell me to do that. Do not tempt me with a good time. She's right though. In about 20, if you count the last 2 days, in about 20 minutes at a blackjack table, I did make more than I make in a month of streaming, posting videos every day and streaming and doing my Discord and merch and all the stuff. All I got to do is go to the casino. Way easier, guys. That would be way easier. But unfortunately, I love weather too much and I can never actually quit doing this. Unfortunately. Memoir Alex. What's funny is she's been on me about going to the casino for so long, and now she's starting to see the light side. Suddenly I go on a little bit of a winning streak, and she understands my passion for the casino. Los casinos. You just said that's dangerous. I'm addicted to blackjack. Yeah, I'm telling you, you get one or two good nights. Oh my gosh. I was making friends at the table. She was making fun of me because I got 2 dudes' numbers. But I was winning with these guys. They know I have a wife and kids. They know I'm not like flirting with them. I was winning at the blackjack table and I was like, guys, this is fun. I just moved to Minnesota. Can I get your numbers? We can do this again. And my wife's like, oh, Connor's going to the casino and getting guys' numbers. Like, come on, we were having a good time. Me and the boys. I just wanted some numbers so I can go gamble with them again. Everyone's judging me. She said when I came back, when I got back today, who was it? I think it was actually my brother said, did you get any more guys' numbers? I said, shut up. No, but I did win a bunch of money again. Until you lose, yeah. Okay, anyways, let's do some winter stuff. Really quickly, just in case anyone didn't know. Here we go. Yeah, we're doing everything. We're doing snow, we're doing severe weather. We're gonna watch as this Hurricane Hunter flies into the storm, and we're gonna get the latest here. I think we could have a Cat 5 on our hands already. We could have a Cat 5. So let's quickly look at some snow updates. This is probably going to go to a black screen. Of course it is. Let me fix that. Give me a second. Where is it? Okay. Here's what the GFS sees for snow out through about the next 14 days. Trying to put a little bit of snow into good old Nebraska. Good old Central Plains, Northern Plains. I don't think we're going to have feet of snow falling across New Mexico. Sorry if anyone lives down there. I don't think that's going to happen. Not impossible. I'm not saying it couldn't. I just don't think it's going to happen. All right, let's take a quick look at the latest. I think our latest GFS is coming out now, is loading 12Z. Okay, first of all, let's go into what do we think? What do we see temperature-wise, anomalies? Here we go. Let me actually do this as well so people can see this. Okay. If you do turn your phone sideways, you can see this a lot better, by the way. Okay. Or, I mean, if you're on TikTok. Here we go. This is the latest GFS. It's not fully loaded yet, but we'll look. Cold air, obviously sinking into the south. It's pretty nice out there right now. Some more cool air pushing in from the west. Diving down. We are going to be well below average as we get into the middle of this upcoming week through this region. Very cold. Very chilly. Put on a coat. And that cold air is going to go down into the east, and it's going to settle for a little bit because we still have some blocking up to the northeast. So most of next week looks pretty dang chilly for the south. It does. West warms up a little bit. When we get to next weekend, oh, look at that. The east stays cold. It's almost like we knew this was going to happen. Okay, stays cold. Some more air. I mean, this is just whatever. This is just a negative NAO, positive PNA setup. Continuous flow of cold air out east. Let's take a look reflectivity-wise. What do we think is going to happen out here in the latest GFS? Could get a little bit of some severe weather out here Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, potentially down in the southeast as well. This is very close to being a nor'easter if this thing were to get off the coast a little bit. If the storm were to track off the coast, but that's going to bring some pretty bad weather potentially Thursday, Friday, maybe even some severe weather out to the mid-Atlantic and New England. And okay, so not much. We're letting this load. If we go back to the 6Z, the GFS does see, like I said, big troughing happening out here and lots of snow. Let's actually go and let's look at this temperature-wise anomaly on the GFS 6Z, 06Z. Yeah, this would be potentially a big severe weather setup as well if we had this type of gradient. On our GEFS extended, let's take a look where it sees some snowfall over the next 35 days. There we go. It's pulled back, not being super aggressive, but that's where it's seeing snow potential over the next 35 days. European weekly, snow potential over the next 32 days. There you go. And next 46 days, there's the snow potential that it sees. We are still seeing a very cold pattern ahead. Here's our November on the Canadian seasonal temperature outlook. Expect it to be average, slightly below average for a lot of the areas out here, and then pushing into December. It looks like it's going to try to set up this obvious La Nina pattern with very below average temperatures up here to the north, warmer to the south. I don't think that's what's going to happen. I think we're going to have a colder winter down south as well. We have a ton of stratospheric warming right now, and our stratospheric polar vortex is not having a good time. It's having actually a very bad time. If we were to look up, let's just go to our Euro and let's go look at the northern hemisphere stratosphere. Look at this warming. Look at this warming that's projected to continue to happen. I can't talk this morning, guys. Look at this warming that is projected up there in the stratosphere. Continued stratospheric polar vortex disruption. This is if you want big cold snaps and you want a very freezing winter in the States, this is exactly what you want to see. A lot of heat over the Arctic, because when you get heat building over the Arctic, that cold air is displaced out of the Arctic into places it shouldn't be, like the States, down to the south. Slows your stratospheric polar vortex. Who cares about the troposphere? The troposphere we have a polar vortex in the troposphere, but we don't care about that. The coldest air on planet Earth is in the northern hemisphere in the stratospheric polar vortex. The northern hemisphere has a much colder pole than the southern hemisphere because of our geography. Land cools much quicker than water, and it heats much quicker than water. So we have much more drastic weather in the northern hemisphere than the southern hemisphere, because most of the southern hemisphere is water. There's obviously a lot more land in the northern hemisphere, and that cooling of the land allows for a lot colder air to build in the troposphere and stratosphere. So when you have very, very warm anomalies building up in the troposphere and especially in the stratosphere over winter, this is the coldest part of the planet, colder than Antarctica, then you have the coldest air on the planet being pushed out to the south here. And that's why when we talk about polar vortex collapses, we're talking about the stratospheric polar vortex collapse, because that's the coldest air on the planet. And it looks like that's going to collapse in November, December. Still on pace for that. When we get our big break, that's who knows, but we're going to see, I think, a pretty cold November, at least for portions of the plains and out east. And then we'll see. December, January look very cold as well. Let me see. We have a 6. Okay, we just have our. I really want our 12Z Euro to come in. We do have our GFS still loading. 12Z GFS loading. Let me just do one more thing here, and then we'll continue to talk about severe weather and the hurricane. Composite reflectivity. Let's see here. GFS. What am I doing here? GFS. What is this? Oh, there we go. Still loading. Let's see what this sees. Let me actually go out real quick. I want to see what the pattern's looking like from our 500 millibar height anomaly. Okay. There's that cold air dropping down here at the beginning of middle of next week. There's our blocking to the north. That's going to try here. You can see the jet stream pattern here. Here's the jet stream diving, right? And you want to be in this portion of the jet stream, on the top of it, not on the bottom. That's where the heat is. This is where the cold air and snow could be. So there we go, diving down, and then boom, another piece of energy. Look at this. This is exactly what we thought we'd see here moving into November. Another piece of energy diving down into the east, potentially into the plains. Still some blocking trying to hold up here. We also have, maybe an Alaskan ridge building up here as well. As we get into early November, that'd be even colder. And I think this is going to continue. I think as we get to the end here, you can't see it, but I think. Wait, look who's outside. That's my wife. All right, but I think I just doxed myself. That's okay. I think this is going to dive down as well. This piece of energy here. Oh, if you guys have not been able to see anything I was showing this whole time. Have I been off that screen, or did I just switch over to? I probably was off. I probably wasn't showing this, was I? Some of it? Oh my gosh. It's back. Oh my god, is TikTok still going black screen? Are you kidding me? Was I on the hurricane that whole time I was talking? Or had I just switched to it? Wait, we have mods. We have mods in here today. It was black. Oh my gosh. Do I have any information on past predictions and results? Yeah, I mean, we can look at analogs and stuff like that. You were still messing with the temp? Yeah. Anyways, here we go. Yeah, I do think at the end here, we're going to continue to have this pattern diving down, like I said, in case you missed it. Cold air diving into the south, troughing. Here's our jet stream. This is the type of pattern if you want nor'easters out east, if you want cold plains and cold east for winter. There you go. Piece of energy dives down again. Our jet stream's continuing to funnel weather into the cold, wintry type weather into the plains and out east. Now, we're not in winter yet, so it's not going to be that freezing yet, but it's going to be pretty cold. But I think this is going to continue. That pattern is going to continue for a little bit. GFS is still loading, but if we look at our Euro here and we go back to our 12Z, same type of thing. Troughing down in the east, blocking up to the north there. Look, continued positive PNA troughing down into the east. This is a cold pattern, and then it also sees this big piece of energy trying to dive in here. We'll see if we get a little bit of a neutral flow, but again, back to our hurricane hunters flying in right now. They're very close to We could have a Cat 5 once the Hurricane Cowboy gets in here. This mission's flying in right now, so we will be able to see if this is a Cat 5 before the news or the Weather Channel or anything tells you, because we're watching this live right here on Radar Omega. It's pretty awesome. You get to watch the flight as it's flying in. Mezzo Matthew, what do you think? Do we have a Cat 5 on this pass? Look at that big explosion of convection right here at the end of this loop. And there it is. Who knows? We might. I think we're going to be down to 9. I'm going to guess, guys. 9. We're going to get like a 938.7. That's a pretty big jump. We might not go down to there, but look at this nice flow. Look at this. I hate to say beautiful because this is going to be bad for Jamaica, but look at this beautiful flow out. Look at this in all directions, really. The fanning out of these clouds. It doesn't get much nicer than this if you're talking about strengthening. So, what's happening is our tornado. What's happening with our severe weather right now? Is this a new tornado warning down here? No. Okay. Let's just double check because we've been watching some tornadoes this morning. Matt, were you covering this stuff? Okay, our tornado warnings have lifted. That's good. We still have a severe thunderstorm warning down here, stretching from Orange Beach out towards Lillian Haven Park, Paradise Beach. But the worst of it's lifted. Black screen again. Yeah, guys, that's TikTok. It's TikTok. You can jump over on. I'm streaming on YouTube, Connor's Climate Corner. If you're having issues on TikTok, we had this issue the other night. Hey, YouTube, are you guys having any issues with the black screen? Just so I can confirm again, it's TikTok and not my stream. Yeah, guys, it's a TikTok issue. Yeah, YouTube said there's no issues on that side. Yeah, no issues over on YouTube side. Yeah, it's a TikTok issue, guys. I thought they'd resolve. Wait, I'm getting ready to run a 6K. Nice. Guys, Mesomat's in here. If you don't follow Mesmat, give him a follow. He streams just like I do, releases weather content all the time. He's awesome. He's got a whole team. Definitely give him a follow. And the only thing that's weird about him is he runs for fun. He likes to run for fun. So I think he might have hit his head as a child, but other than that, he's a pretty cool guy. But no one who runs for fun is completely sane. You know? Running's not fun. Oh, I shouldn't have made fun of him. He just gave me a galaxy. Matt, I love you. I love you, Matt. I appreciate that. Oh, guys. Here we go. What are our winds at? 111 knots, 119 knots, 122 knots. And we do not have the pressure yet. Is that just lagging behind? Why don't we have a pressure? Oh my God, don't tell me they're having this issue again. I think it might just take a second. 122 knots. We're over 140 miles per hour. Oh my gosh, give me the central pressure. Give me the central pressure. Say thanks to Daddy Matt. Thanks, Daddy Matt. What is my setup? What's my setup? Here you go. Radar Omega. Windy. Stream. But I also have, we've got, well, Radar Omega, and then WeatherWise is right behind it always. So I can quickly switch to severe weather radar and then hurricane. And then we can go to maps. Quickly transition.
A new special marine warning has been issued.
Matt's got a cool setup too. Matt's got a TV in front of him. I need a TV. Can we get a pressure here? No pressure. Sometimes they do these passes and you... Oh, have we not gotten a pressure this entire time? On some of them we do. All right, hopefully we get an update here. 122 knots. Matt, what's 122 knots? 142 miles per hour? 122... 140, about 141 miles per hour. Every runner I know's sanity in fact, questionable. What's the special marine warning? I mean, it's got to be for somewhere down here. We can take a look. I mean, here. I don't even know if I have them on here, honestly. We've got tornado watches. Tropical storm. I don't even have. It's not even showing me special marine warning on here right now on weatherwise. Let's see on here. Nope, not showing me. Not showing me on Radar Omega either. It'll probably cycle though. Special marine warning right there. Coastal waters from the southwest pass of the Mississippi River to Port Fortune, Louisiana. Waters from Pensacola, Florida to Pascagoula, Mississippi from 20 to 60. What? Nautical miles. Nautical miles. Is that what it is? Nautical miles. All right. Any impacts in Clearwater, Florida from this? You're not going to see any impacts in Clearwater, Florida. Come on, give me a pressure. Give me a pressure. Where's my pressure, guys? Although the pressure would be, let's see. Okay, we'll wait a little bit longer. We'll wait a little bit longer on this. Oh, I want to put out a video today, but I don't feel like making it after this, so maybe I'll make my video on stream with you guys right now. And then I'll just record it, and I'll just record it and then post it. People trying to pronounce southern town names, especially in Louisiana. Yeah, I don't know. I live in Minnesota. The names up here are pretty crazy, too. I mean, they're just really hard to pronounce. It's all like, there's a lot of like Native American names that are definitely tough for me to pronounce. Definitely difficult for me to pronounce. How much snow you think Eastern Tennessee will get in the next 46 days? I actually think they could get some snow in the next 46 days, a foot or so. I think we're gonna get early snow in portions of the east. Frank probably lives in Jamaica. Yeah, dude. I'm sure he's preparing. I've seen it all over the news. They're getting ready for this in Jamaica. There's really no avoiding it, like I said, unfortunately. Let's see. When is it going to snow in the Dakotas? We could have snow pretty soon in the Dakotas. We could have snow in a couple weeks in Dakotas. I think we have a potentially Alberta clipper that wants to come down right through the Dakotas and Minnesota. Could Hurricane Melissa impact Cuba? It will likely impact eastern Cuba. Right now, they're expecting potentially a major hurricane landfall near Guantanamo. About 72 to 96 hours out. Probably closer to 72 hours out. It's so between 944 and 952. Not sure if it changed. Yeah, you know, we're not getting the pressure here, but we probably have an update now. I could probably go look at the update now because this is lagging a little behind. Let me see here. Let's see, current storms. Yeah, I was looking at it. The wind speeds increased a little bit, but I don't think central pressure dropped that much. Let's look at aircraft recon. And I think this is our latest. Give me 1 second. Okay, yeah, it's in there right now. Let's see here. Is this our latest? No, it's... Okay, I haven't got an update on the latest pressure. Not yet. It's gonna probably be moved, through Jamaica and Cuba. States are probably gonna be okay. Let's see if we can get this updated here. This is potentially gonna be the strongest hurricane to ever make landfall in Jamaica. Yeah, it's not gonna be good. It's not a good situation at all. The only thing that's helping this thing weaken maybe a tiny bit before it hits Jamaica is this: as it turns, it's gonna slow, and as it slows, it's going to cool the waters beneath it, and so it won't have as much fuel for strengthening. Slow storms cause upwelling beneath them. They pull all the warm water off the surface, and cold water beneath the surface water replaces it, and then the storms don't have as much heat to pull from for strengthening. So when storms slow down, sometimes they weaken a little bit. That, and as it turns, it's going to be pulled from a kind of northern steering current trough that's going to potentially put some wind shear on the north part of the storm. But again, in Cat 4, Cat 5, not much of a difference at landfall. Early snow in Delaware. I think we can get some early snow in Delaware. Early December. Earlier than we typically see it. Bro, the storm is huge. Size-wise, it's actually pretty average size for a hurricane. I mean, because if you think about it, Hurricane Katrina was about, when it was over the Gulf, looked like that. You could probably fit almost 2 of these in the size of Hurricane Katrina. It's not a small hurricane though. We get smaller hurricanes than this. Sometimes you get hurricanes that are like this, tight, small hurricanes. So I'd say this is average, maybe slightly above average size. Hurricane Wilma, when it was in the Caribbean, was gigantic. It was like this big. It was huge. I'd say the core of the storm's right here. Not a small hurricane, that's for sure, but not the biggest one. You know, large hurricanes actually have a struggle to intensify, struggle more with rapid intensification. So this storm not being the biggest hurricane I've ever seen is actually helping it strengthen. But this one's a slow mover, yeah, and that's what's going to help. But listen, if this thing was moving a little faster, I think we could get one of the strongest hurricanes in recorded history. I think the slowdown here, as it strengthens potentially into a Cat 5, like I said, is going to cause upwelling and is going to keep it from potentially breaking Hurricane Wilma's record. Hurricane Wilma got down to 880, I want to say 82 millibars in the October 19th, 2005, right here. Strongest hurricane ever recorded in Atlantic Basin. How much snow do I think he's... Oh, I already answered that one. Brody answered that one. Aaron was bigger than Texas. Aaron was a big one. Yeah. Yeah. Very true. Brody, you're good. Yeah, I think Eastern Tennessee could get over a foot of snow in the next 46 days. I think the East is going to see a more wintry winter on the front end of winter, not the back end. I think November to early January is going to be a lot nicer to the East than the second half of winter. So that's why I think you could get decent snow earlier on in the season, just based on the pattern we have. I don't really know about the second half of the season, and I still got to put up my updated winter outlook, but it's not going to change much from my last one. It'll change a little bit. Fun fact, my friend's mom helped clean up in the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina. My friend would be born in May 2006. Oh, wow. Yeah, they're still cleaning up from Hurricane Katrina. Tornado watch update. Now including Perdido Bay, Pensacola Bay. Okay. We can probably take a look at that here. See if it expands. Baldwin, Alabama. What was that? Escambia, Alabama? I don't even know how to pronounce that. Yeah, this tornado watch is just going to keep moving to the east. We're going to get a tornado watch along the panhandle of Florida. I'm watching that area for tornadoes right now, guys. Here we go. Let's look at some of these updates. Okay, we got 953 central pressure. 953. You're right. I mean, listen, 948. I thought we could get this dropping farther. We're still around 948. 946. 946. We are. Okay, so we're still strengthening. Down to 946. I thought we could get below 940. Still right there. 946. That's a strengthening storm. 146 millibars. Let's see if we have a stronger wind. Okay. 122 knots. The strongest wind's probably on that end. Let's see what we got out here. 111 knots. 108 knots. This is crazy. Still Cat 4 winds. We have a little bit stronger winds than the last pass. Like I said, we have slightly over 140 mile per hour winds right now with this 122 knot peak wind speed. So this is going to be stronger than the last update. Not a Cat 5 yet. I thought we'd be getting into the 930s. It's wanting to do that. You can see the big explosion of convection here. Although we don't want to root for it to get there, but it just seems inevitable at this point. What website do I use? This is Radar Omega. This is WeatherWise. This is Windy. Windy's actually, you can go into Windy right now and pull up this radar. It's completely free. It's a website. It's not an app. The other ones are apps on my computer. You can W-I-N-D-Y. W-I-N-D-Y. Why am I questioning that? Windy.com. You can pull this up. We can take a look at the visible radar here. We can take a look at this so you can see everything a little bit better. So we can also even go like visible with a radar overlaid on it. Let's see. But you'll only see where there's actual radar out here. But you can go on to Windy right now. Take a look at that stuff.
Warning, a new special marine warning has been issued.
New special marine warning. Tornado effect, previously in effect until noon. Yeah, Prudhoe Bay area, coastal waters from Pensacola, Florida to Pascagoula, Mississippi, out 20 nautical miles. Is it a Category 5? No, but it's close to a Category 5. Very close. And we've got winds over 140 miles per hour, so sustained. About 141, 142. So if this thing gets, these winds pick up about 12, 13 miles per hour more, we will have a Category 5. So we're likely to probably have a Category 5 today in the next update or two. There's really nothing stopping this from being a Cat 5. I mean, if we were to take a look at some parameters in this area right now, let's go back, look at some of my favorite maps when it comes to this type of stuff. Do you guys see any dry air here in the Caribbean? Let's take a look. Do you guys see any dry air in the Caribbean? I mean, like a little patch here? No, there's nothing. Okay, you want to know what dry air that affects a storm? That's what it is up there in the Western Gulf. No dry air, okay? That's very good for a strengthening storm. And then, of course, if we take a look at our shear, wind shear is not good for a strengthening storm. You want little to no wind shear. Here's our hurricane moving west. Currently, it's gonna move like this. This whole area, we're not in this red. This is 25, 30 knot wind shear. It's not really dealing with much wind shear other than to the north. So really, it's dealing with about 10 to 12 knot wind shear. Pretty much nothing for a hurricane. So moist water, not a lot of wind shear. And then the other big issue we obviously have is this. Is the waters. Look how above average our waters are. So no wind shear, warm waters, moist air. It's going to continue to strengthen. It's actually moving into even warmer water right out here to the south of Jamaica right now. For the rain map, that's WeatherWise. This is WeatherWise. Here, I'll show you it. This is WeatherWise right here. I'm on a radar, but I can go out like this and I can go to composite so I can see everything here. And then I can also go and I can put what's our categorical outlook for today. I can overlay it with that. What's our rainfall multi-day? Let's look at our 48-hour rainfall potential. There you go. But I have it on our tornado right now. Tornado watch. Our tornado risk zone. If you're in the green, that's a 2% chance for tornadoes today, and the browns 5%. The Gulf is about to cool down with the fronts moving through this week. Well, the cold fronts, troughings, that's not really going to cool down the Gulf. What's going to cool down the Gulf is if we get some convection. Like, I mean, this is going to cool because it's pulling that warm water off the surface to fuel these storms. Now, yeah, if you're right, I guess, yeah, because if you get a cold front pushing down here and you get a lot of convection along the Gulf from the cold front, yeah, you'll get upwelling and the Gulf will cool. But it's not caused by the cool. I mean, the cool air does cool the ocean, but it's more caused by the storm systems that cool air creates, clashing with the warm air that pulls the hot water off the surface. So this is going to cool down up here. Can you tell? So yeah, I mean, yeah, technically, yeah, front moving into the Gulf, you're right. We'll cool it because of the storminess you get from it. Anyways, we're getting into cooler time of the year. Our side of the planet is tilting away from the sun a little bit more. The oceans are going to start cooling. Prediction path through Jamaica, please. I mean, there's not much arguing with this path right here. If you look at Google DeepMind models, you look at all Global's hurricane models, it's going to go probably right through the center of Jamaica, something like that. Even if it doesn't, though, I mean, at this point, if it goes on the west or easterly side of this track, I mean, we'd want this to go on the east side of this track. We would love if this pulled like this, because the worst part of a storm in the northern hemisphere of a cyclone is typically the northeastern section. So we do not want this to go. We would. It actually would not be great if the storm, if the hurricane went like this, because then you'd have the eastern Jamaica with Kingston on the eastern side of the storm. That'd be the worst case scenario, which might happen. If the storm did go like this and we kept most of Jamaica on the left side of the system, it still would be bad, but all the storm surge, the biggest storm surge is going to be on the east side of the system. The strongest winds are typically on the east side of the system. The heaviest rainfall is typically on the east side of the system. So it would be way better if we got a quick turn right now and this thing went something like that. If it continues to move west and we get something like this, or even something like this, I'd say this is worst case scenario, second worst case scenario, best case scenario. You want this thing to stay east. To have as little amount of rainfall, storm surge as possible. You're going to get winds, pretty strong winds regardless where it goes. I don't know why Windy keeps doing that, like fade out of the radar. I don't know what's going on with it right now. So Kingston is in danger. Yes. Yes. This is potentially going to be the strongest hurricane in recorded history to move over Kingston. It's a bad situation. Wind speeds at the moment around 140 to 145 mile per hour sustained, with gusts in Cat 5 range. We have gusts probably up at around 160 or something like that. 165. Let's see what they have gusts at right now. 165. We'll probably have a Cat 5 by the end of by the end of the day. Eye wall replacement before landfall. That would be pretty good trophy if we got that. Because the storm tends to weaken a tiny bit when it does an eye wall replacement. Okay, give me one second, guys. I'll be right back, and then I'm gonna do a quick tropical update, severe weather update, snow update, everything, because I need to post a video, and I'm gonna use the stream to make the video. And then I gotta watch the Giants game. Landfall on Jamaica is expected in under 48 hours. They have it at around 45 hours right now. Okay, give me 1 second, okay? I'll be right back.
This special marine warning has
I appreciate you all being in here, by the way. If you don't know, I live stream most days, about 5-6 days a week. I post video updates every single day on my YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. I've got a Discord, Connor's Climate Corner. My voice just cracked. Connor's Climate Corner HQ. Connor's Climate Corner HQ. If you add me on Discord, I'll invite you. Make you part of the Climate Crew. It's an awesome Discord. Everything you need to know about the weather is updated in there every single day. Everything from severe weather to hurricanes to snow to space weather. It's updated in there every single day. So I'll be right back, and then we're going to cover everything again. Give me 2 seconds. And I appreciate the follows. All right, let's do a full update of everything real quick. I will be trying to cover this at landfall, by the way, Jamaica and Cuba. Let's do a full update of everything, okay? Let's turn down the music a little bit, even though it is a banger.
This flash flood warning has been updated.
Okay. Let's do it. Here we go. Category 4 Hurricane Melissa. This is expected to become a Category 5 by probably the end of the day. We're expecting landfall in and around central Jamaica within about 45 hours, according to the NHC, or National Hurricane Center. The latest Hurricane Cowboy trip, Hurricane Hunter, Hurricane Cowboy trip through the storm saw a surface pressure at around, what did we get down to, guys? At around 944 millibars and 122 knot winds. That's at about 142 mile per hour winds. We have gusts at around 165 to 170 miles per hour. This is likely going to be the strongest hurricane to ever make landfall in Jamaica, unfortunately. And then it's going to go up and try to make landfall out there as a major hurricane in eastern Cuba, potentially around the Guantanamo region. So big issue here. Luckily for the states, it looks like we're going to avoid direct impact from this storm. But we really, really need to pay attention to what's happening out here in Cuba and Jamaica. It's not good news, but they're preparing. I've seen all over the news. They're getting ready. So moving over to, we do have some severe weather today. So let's take a look at that. Down here in the southeast, we've got some severe weather moving through. We had some tornadoes this morning. So a little bit of a dreary morning out here in the southeast. I guess it's the afternoon out here now. Well, I guess the date line's here. So you got, well, it's the afternoon. So you're either 1 or 12 out here. Still a 2 to 5% tornado risk zone stretching across the Florida Panhandle and through southern Alabama. So this is going to last probably for another 5 to 6 hours. So if you're out here, make sure you have multiple ways to receive weather alerts. Flash flooding is going to be an issue out here as well today. This is going to continue to move off to the north and east. This low pressure is going to continue to move off to the north and east. So all this moisture is going to head out towards the east coast, up through the Ohio Valley, and then eventually into New England as we get to Monday and Tuesday. If we do take a look at our multi-day precipitation forecast, you can see here a lot of rainfall predicted for the southeast. Taking a look at what's going on with our temperatures. We're going to move in here towards Pivotal. Well, here, we do have the latest GFS out. So we'll go here to the 12Z GFS, and I want to take a look at the temperature anomalies, or 500 millibar height anomaly right now. Taking a look at this, let me make sure you guys can actually see this correctly. Give me 1 second. Okay, here we go. Got a little bit of, this is our storm system down here. This little trough separated from our main jet stream to the north. We do expect another piece of energy to dive down through the plains early this week and into the southeast, bringing more well below average temperatures to the southeast and more storminess to the east coast. This is as we get into Tuesday, Wednesday, and then you can actually see Melissa here skirting up through the Bahamas. Tuesday, Wednesday, and then this cool air and storminess is actually going to try to stick around because, again, we have this blocking up here. A little bit of a negative NAO setup up there. And positive PNA ridging out west, troughing out east. So we're going to get a little bit of a warm-up out west this week, and we're going to continue our cool down out east. As we push into next weekend, oh, look at that. Who would have guessed? Me. Another piece of energy diving down into the east. Another piece of energy diving down to the east. More cool weather, more storminess for the east. Watch this not happen, and I look like an idiot. That happens sometimes. And then we'll see what happens out here. I think the GFS now thinks, boom, oh, look at that, another storm system and more cool air for the east. Continued. This is the pattern you guys want in December and January, by the way, out east, if you want big snow for the southeast, mid-Atlantic, coastal New England, Philly, New York City, D.C., Delaware. I know someone asked about Delaware earlier. This continued positive PNA, a little bit of a negative NAO setup up there. This is what you want, our jet stream continuing to dive down into the southeast. This is a great setup for nor'easters. We'll see if we get this type of pattern setting up into December and January as well. I wouldn't be surprised, though, if we switched here to the precipitation or reflectivity if the GFS has some storminess or some snow out here. Let's take a look. Precipitation. Where are we right now? Okay, we're going to go into... Actually, what are we on? We're on the GFS. And let me get down into the states. United States precipitation. Okay, let's take a look at this reflectivity. Here we go as we get into next week or into the middle of this upcoming week. Again, another storm, another low pressure system moving down through here in the southeast. With it, we could have some severe weather. So we'll have to watch that. We move forward in time. We get into next weekend. Here comes another storm system trying to dive down into the southeast, bringing More rain, more moisture to the plains and the east. And do we get any sort of... See this right here, if we were in December, January, and we had this type of low pressure system cutting up the coast, could be very close to being a nor'easter. Does it bring us... try to bring us some snow out east? It does. I mean, you can continue to see... This is going to be a front. This is going to be cold air behind this. A little bit of snow up to the north. Just a little bit too early in the season. I think we could get a little bit of... We could get some flakes falling from... along the Appalachian Mountain Range there as that storm system moves over as we get... This is pretty far out, though, as we get about 10 days out. We'll have to see how this changes. Going into temperature, let's look at our temperature anomalies with our latest GFS. Here we go. This is as we get into the early next week. More cool air moving in from the north. You can see diving into the southeast. This is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all this cold air sticking around, especially through the southeast. The plains gets a little bit of a cool down as well, but look at New England, the northeast as well, really just the east remaining cold. Getting into November 5th, 6th, and 7th, maybe a tiny little warm up before a big cool down again. There we go. Major cool down again. I'm telling you, it's going to be a cold November for the east. We could get some pretty chilly conditions for the plains as well. We'll have to see. If our jet stream does set up a little bit farther to the west and we have these storms diving in like this, we're going to have a very cold November for the plains, which I actually expect as well. But the west is going to get hot. The west looks like it's going to be hot at least through the first 2 to 3 weeks. 2 to 3 weeks of November, I think the west is going to be pretty hot while the east remains cool. I was taking a look at this earlier, but if we do go up into the northern hemisphere and we take a look at this, we can actually take a look on our GFS, take a look at what's going on with our stratospheric polar vortex. Well, we have very, very warm anomalies. This warm air up here means our winds, our low pressure that holds in the coldest air on the planet is going to be slowing down, and this is when you get big polar vortex outbreaks. So November, December, it's typically lagged. November, December, I would expect some potential record-breaking cold to push down into the States because of how warm our anomalies are up around the stratosphere there. And you can see they're staying pretty cold, and you can see that vortex wanting to break off cold air, you know, down into Siberia. Eventually, that's going to make its way around the globe. Yes, we're on a globe. The Earth isn't flat. And then eventually, it's going to make its way into the States. So that's what's going on. As I said, the issue that we have with our hurricane, why I think it will be a Cat 5, other than because the National Hurricane Center tells me, why I think it will be a Cat 5 by the end of today. We have very warm water, very warm waters in the Caribbean right now. That's fuel for our system, for our hurricane. You take a look at our wind shear. Not a lot of wind shear here around the storm. That is conducive for strengthening. And then if you take a look as well, if we take a look at the moisture that's down here, Saharan air. There we go. A lot of moist air here, not a lot of dry air that's trying to punch its way into the system. There's none. Okay, not a lot of wind shear. Very moist air, very warm waters. This is exactly what a hurricane needs to strengthen. So, you know, this is right around the time, October 19th, in the Caribbean. 2005 is when we had the strongest hurricane recorded on record in the Atlantic Basin, Hurricane Wilma. So this is giving me some Hurricane Wilma vibes, but Hurricane Wilma ended up actually making landfall in Florida, South Florida. This one's likely just going to move over Jamaica and Cuba. But again, we're going to cover this. Very, very dangerous situation for Jamaica and eastern Cuba. All right. If you like this type of content, don't forget to follow or sub. Make posts like this every day. And I try to stream 5 days a week as well. Here we go, guys. I got my video done for today. Thanks for hanging around. Why did the cold pattern in the GFS disappear? It didn't. They're still there for the east. Still shows very, very cold for the east. I think it's not being cold enough for the plains. But we'll see how that goes. Yep. Like Purple said, take advantage. Join the Discord. Add me on Discord. Add me as a friend on Discord. Connor's Climate Corner HQ. Connor's Climate Corner HQ. And you'll get all these updates every single day in the Discord. My husband has been complaining it's too cool at night. So, you know, it has to be freezing. Yeah. When will it hit Jamaica? Right now, landfall is expected in about 45 hours, give or take 10 hours. You know, I'd say 40 to 50 hours, somewhere like that. 40, 50 hours out, we'll probably have a landfall in Jamaica, unfortunately. Looking like right now, do we have any... No tornado warnings down. A severe thunderstorm warning that just expired. So we're looking pretty good severe weather-wise, guys. I just checked over there. What do I think the effects and aftermath will be in the western part of the country? Are we talking about Jamaica? It's going to be bad for everyone. I think the worst impacts are going to be in central to eastern Jamaica because that's where the most storm surge is going to be. You're going to get a little storm surge, though, as well in western Jamaica because as the storm moves over, you're going to get a kind of northeasterly flow of water moving down to the southwest. So, but the biggest storm surge is definitely going to be in and around Kingston, unfortunately, eastern Jamaica. I think the biggest impacts for the West is really for everyone, though, but it's rainfall and wind. It's not going to be good for anyone in Jamaica, unfortunately. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You get a Cat 4, Cat 5 going directly over the country. It's going to be devastating for most people. I mean, we're going to see catastrophic effects across much of the country. It's not a good situation. A lot of people left. They're getting prepared for it. I think, like I said, we're going to be sending our military out there, people to help as soon as the storm clears Jamaica. Probably going to be sending a lot of money out there. It's not going to be great. This isn't an unsurvivable storm, right? People, I would say, you don't want to be in low-lying areas in Jamaica. The flooding, especially because it's a slow-moving storm, is going to be very catastrophic. I think it's going to be the worst of everything. But as long as you're not in low-lying areas, we're going to have mudsliding, obviously mudslides all over the country. But as long as you're not in a low-lying area, you can, the winds, they can deal with. I mean, it's not going to be fun, but the flooding is the biggest concern. Well, when I say the military, I mean we're going to be sending people down there to bring food and supplies. And so I think Jamaica will welcome the U.S. bringing hundreds of millions of dollars in food and supplies and helping rebuild their infrastructure after this. I would think most Jamaicans would be okay with that. Maybe not all. Disaster relief, exactly. We're not going to be sending our military there to do anything other than for disaster relief. At least you'd hope so. That's what we do anytime these types of storms hit anywhere in the Caribbean. All right, be back here. Yeah, light poles first. When is it projected to make landfall? About 40 to 50 hours out from now. Recovery and support, exactly. Well, this I think will be historical. This may go down as the strongest hurricane to make landfall in Jamaica in history. Recorded history, non-history, recorded history. All right, I'm going to continue to make release updates on this every single day. I'm going to continue to stream this every single day, try to stream the landfall and cover all this. So if you guys like this type of content, don't forget to follow, sub. You can join me on Discord. Just add me on Discord, Connor's Climate Corner HQ. Add me as a friend on Discord. I'll get you into the Discord. All the updated information's in there every single day. Mods, you're awesome. I appreciate you guys. Everyone, enjoy your Sunday. Enjoy football. If you know anyone down in Jamaica, Eastern Cuba, I'm sure they already know what's going on, but make sure they're prepared and make sure they understand how serious this is. We're going to see catastrophic damage to portions of Cuba and Jamaica. So as long as people are prepared, they're going to be safe, but they need to be prepared. You don't want to be underprepared as this moves over Jamaica and Eastern Cuba. It's a bad situation. It doesn't get much worse than this, if I'm being honest. Melissa is a Category 4 now. Wind speeds at around 145 miles per hour, sustained 165 to 170 gusts, and it's expected to become a Cat 5 very shortly. All right, everyone, enjoy your day. I'll be back on maybe later tonight, and definitely tomorrow, and I'll be releasing updates. All right, everyone. My son's trying to get into the room. Enjoy your Sunday. I'll see you later.